Hi everybody, Brett Mills here. Hey, as I've been meeting with people, I am beginning to see the significant impact of inflation on everyday families, and it's really affecting everyone at different levels. And so I wanted to share just a quick action tip, hopefully to perhaps gain momentum or courage in getting ahead of a budget. One thing that I think is dangerous, and this is true in business, this is true in a personal budget, often right now is really budgets are being stretched. I hear a lot of people saying, hey, I'm just gonna live off of savings. It's okay, I'll live off of savings and subsidize. In business, we call that a balance sheet. And that's important to know that a balance sheet is there to temporarily help us navigate a quick correction or actually to be able to invest in something, but it's not something that's just, the business strategy shouldn't be to deplete that down. And then we have an income statement. I'm gonna call that your budget. That's just making sure that everything balances every month. And if that's negative, you need to have courage to be able to take action to make sure that that income statement is not losing money and pulling money off that balance sheet, whether that's credit cards increasing and financing, or you're depleting your savings. To achieve long-term sustainability, you have to be able to ebb and flow with that and make courageous decisions quickly on that budget and the income statement in your own personal family. So one of those things, I was driving back from a mountain bike race this weekend and having a discussion with my teenager. He's really good at running his budget, but in gaining clarity, I asked him a simple question as we were driving down the road. So I'll share this as an action tip. As we drove past a gas station and looked at the price of gas, I asked him how many miles per gallon he gets in his vehicle. And we ran it down real quick just as an exercise. And so I'll give you a quick example. We look at it and say, let's say that the vehicle holds 30 gallons of fuel, and that fuel is $5 a gallon. That's $150 to fill that tank up. Asked him how many miles per gallon do you get? He said, well, about 15 miles per gallon is what I average. So if there's 30 gallons in a tank, that means on one tank of gas, he can go 450 miles. Taking that 450 miles and dividing it by the cost to fill it, that breaks it down, and now he can see more clearly that every mile he drives costs him 33 cents. Therefore what? I think this is important. Often as we look at a budget, if we're looking big picture and not looking down at the granular decisions, then we lack clarity and we lack the confidence to make a decision. I loved our conversation as he looked at it. The wheels started turning. He looked at it, my goodness, every time I drive a mile to go see my buddy, it's 33 cents. There, and it's 33 cents back, that's 66 cents just to go hang out with my buddy. And we go back and forth between each other's houses multiple times a day. Well, what does that do? Does that mean he stops going and visiting his buddy? Not necessarily, but maybe they're a little bit more authentic in when they go, that they stay in one place and they start to make different decisions. You may look at it and say 33 cents is insignificant. What if they want to run 20 miles away to go to a restaurant real quick and grab a burger that they look at and say, oh, it's only 10 bucks to get this meal down there. But what's the cost of the fuel to get there and back? Well, it's more than the burger. But if we're not breaking it down and seeing with clarity what's going on, then it's hard to see where our money's going. Here's the opportunity. Have the courage to make a decision. Momentum is gained in small incremental things that may seem insignificant. I use this as an example. As you look at it and say, man, can I afford to drive to the gym every day? What's the true cost of that gym membership? Can I work out at home? All these different variables come in for you to make the decision, but have the courage to make a change. Without making a change and getting your income statement or your monthly budget to where at a minimum it's breaking even. The goal is that you're still saving, but a minimum of breaking even so you're not going into credit card and finance or stealing all your savings. Then make courageous decisions to get that right, and you will be just fine. But there will be momentum that is gained as you jump in and start to make little incremental changes. Make that decision today. If it's one you're saying, hey, it seems insignificant today, you will gain clarity as you act on that. I encourage you to go in and look at all your credit card expenditures and your bank expenditures. Perhaps you've got multiple subscriptions. One that I looked at over the weekend, I thought, well, I've got Netflix, Disney Plus, and the list goes on, Prime. And we really don't look at all of them. If you start to break that down and look at it and say, well, I only log into that once a month, is that cost worth it when you're trying to get your budget to not be losing that income statement to a minimum of break even, hopefully continue to add to your savings in any environment? take action. Get clear, break a budget down. You can look at this in your food expenditures. You can look at this in every utility bill, wherever you're going. Become clear and make the courageous cuts to actually get your income statement to work. Hopefully that tip helps you. I encourage you to take that action today.